Well, hi folks, it's good to be with you today. I'm just going to be reading from Henri Nouwen's book, The Inner Voice of Love. And this is just a bit of an introduction. I first was introduced to Henri Nouwen way back in 1980 when I was ordained into the Anglican Church of Australia. My ordination gift from the Archbishop was a copy of Henri Nouwen's books, a book with open hands. Made a huge difference to my life, as did the other one, which I received a year later, which was The Wounded Healer. So Henri Nouwen has been part of my Christian life since 1980, and I've read many of his books and have been blessed as a result. This book, The Inner Voice of Love, is a journey through anguish to freedom. It's Henri Nouwen's secret journal. It was written during the most difficult period of his life, when he suddenly lost his self-esteem, his energy to live and work, his sense of being loved, even his hope in God. Although he experienced excruciating anguish and despair, he was still able to keep a journal in which he wrote each day a spiritual imperative to himself, which emerged from his conversations with friends and supporters. For more than 8 years, Henri Nouwen felt that what he wrote was too raw and private to share with others. Instead, he published The Return of the Prodigal Son, in which he expressed some of the insights gained during his mental and spiritual crisis. And I recommend that book to you as well, The Return of the Prodigal Son. Afterwards, his friends asked him, "Why keep your anguish hidden from the many people who would have been nurtured by your writing? Wouldn't it be of consolation for many to know about the fierce inner battle that lies underneath many of your spiritual insights? For the countless men and women who have to live through the pain of broken relationships, or who suffer from the loss of a loved one, this book about the inner voice of love offers new courage, new hope, even new life." Henri Nouwen himself says of this book, "Today, the time when I wrote these spiritual imperatives seems far away and long ago. Reading them now, 8 years later, makes me aware of the radical changes I have undergone. I moved from anguish to freedom, from depression to peace, from despair to hope. It certainly was a time of purification for me. My heart, ever questioning my goodness, value, and worth, became anchored in a deeper love, and thus less dependent on the praise and blame of those around me. It also grew into a greater ability to give love without always expecting love in return. What once seemed such a curse has become a blessing. All the agony that threatened to destroy my life now seems like fertile ground for greater trust, stronger hope, and deeper love." That's from Henri J Nouwen himself. And so I'm just going to read you the first of these chapters of the book, entitled Walk Around the Abyss. Walk around the abyss. There is a deep hole in your being, like an abyss. You will never succeed in filling that hole because your needs are inexhaustible. You have to work around it so that gradually the abyss closes. Since the hole is so enormous and your anguish so deep, you will always be tempted to flee from it. There are two extremes to avoid: being completely absorbed in your pain and being distracted by so many things that you stay far away from the wound you want to heal. Work around your abyss. Bless you for listening. Bye-bye now.